Green Bay Day to Day. Hey there, guys and gals. What's going on? It's your boy. It's Beefy Bitch. We're fucking back. We're doing it again. It's fucking football. Tomorrow. I'm being late. I'm sorry. I know I fucking always, Tuesday. I mean, it's going to happen. It's my fucking bad. You're right. I'm sorry. But I mean, we're going into full swing here Thursday. So it's Wednesday right now, like I'm saying, but tomorrow, right? The NFL season fucking kicks off. So besides Lamar Jackson's contract, which kind of speaks for it, his mother is his agent, I think. So without a real agent, it's like, I mean, what are we going to do, right? I mean, I just kind of want to run down through the games. Some of them are just going to be like, there's nothing really to fucking talk about, Niners in a fucking blowout, spoiler alert. But there are going to be some ones that are, maybe we need to talk about like a guy or something. But so if you came through hoping like, we got a lot of NFL news to talk about, I don't really think so. Jerry Jones saying things like, sometimes you got to believe 1 and 1 makes 3. I don't know. People are kind of lambasting that certainly that out of context statement, because like obviously it doesn't, right? But I mean, at the same time, it's like cut the guy some fucking, he's outright saying that, like, yeah, sometimes it's worth mentioning that, like, your linebacker core isn't that fucking great, and it's pretty critical when you want to win a championship. Okay, so anyways, like I'm saying, we're going to keep this one nice and sweet, because next week I'm sure it's going to be super long, and if I haven't mentioned it before, Buzzsprout on its free version only gives you like 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken, 2 hours a month. So, once the season is actually in swing, I mean, that's when, so that's when we're going to be talking about this shit for 20 plus minutes, so I want to keep this one to like 15. So here we go. Okay, we're starting off, the Bills and the Rams kick off on Thursday. It's really tough to say. It's when you're in week 1, it's really tough to suggest that, like, hey man, we know what these teams are. We really don't. The Rams still have some injury issues. Woods, right? I mean, he was a great receiver and a very good, like, run blocker, which is hilariously important that a lot of, like, receivers won't do. That seems to be, like, one of the big factors between, like, a championship team and a team that might make the playoffs is, like, do your receivers do the things that they're supposed to do when they're not going to catch a football, and many of them don't. So, okay, so Bills-Rams, I mean, I don't know. You gotta imagine, like, I imagine that there would be a 10-point difference. I don't think that it will be that close. Certainly, like, just looking at the final score, somebody will say, like, oh, double digits, was it really a game? Like, but here's the thing, the Rams do not have great home field advantage. It's like one of the worst in the league. So I think I'm going to say the Bills by 10. Plus Matt Stafford had something go with his, like, his shoulder or his elbow, wasn't it? Wasn't it his elbow? I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. I mean, maybe it's fucking nothing. They were saying that it really was no big deal, but how many things aren't a big deal? Everybody tries to say that. Oh, Devontae Adams leaving. That's probably not a big deal. Like, hey, look, I know he was like fucking. I know they were like 10-1 without him, but for fuck's sake, like, it's that wasn't always against great competition. Anyway, okay. So moving on, Eagles-Lions. Man, I watched some Hard Knocks. I really want to believe in the Lions. I really do. They seem like instead of just like, oh, they got a guy at head coach or a fucking dumbass like Matt Patricia. Like, it's like, I really want to believe in them. But I just don't know if I fucking can. Certainly not week 1 of this season. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Eagles. Call it a touchdown. I'll say Eagles by 7. Niners, Bears. I know I didn't, I think that's the game in my area. So, with Trey Lance basically never having fucking started a game in, like, the last 2 years, I know some people are going to be interested in that game. I honestly can't see how you would be. The Niners are a quarterback away. The Bears are, like, a quarterback away, an O-line away, a receiving core away, a secondary away, maybe, if you kind of argue it around a little bit. So, You know, I mean, and even if those things can be brought into argument, it's like, seriously, you think that the Niners are, even on the road, it could happen. We've seen crazy things happen in the NFL, but I just don't see it. I think the Niners by at least 13, maybe more. I'm just saying, it's a great opponent to start your NFL career with. Okay, Steelers-Bengals, great divisional matchup. Again, when you're, Joe Burrow he looks incredibly legit. We don't even, how is this Steelers quarterback going to work out for us, right? I don't know. I don't think that it's going to be very good. At least not week one. Again, could pan out very well, but week one, I'm going to say it's probably the Bengals by 10. But, that Steelers defense isn't nothing to sleep on. It's just, it seems like the more likely thing to happen is that a strong defense crumbles than a strong offense does. Especially if you can just explode for 7 points within like a half minute of owning the ball, of taking possession, like within 30 seconds, you get 7 points. Well, there you go. So go fuck yourself, Okay, Pats, Finns. The weird thing, I really want to lean toward the Pats. I don't believe in Tagovailoa very much, if at all. But the Patriots just lose the first game of the first contest against the Finns, and they win the last one. It's like fucking clockwork the last like 3 or 4 years. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the Finns win this one. Call it 7, maybe. Okay, Browns, Panthers. The Panthers have a decent quarterback. The Browns do not. But with that said, every other place on the roster, it feels like the Browns are that much better. So people are saying like, oh, Baker's on a revenge tour. It's like, but the running core for the Browns is like, and I'm gonna say it, Jacoby Brissett's getting a lot of fucking hate for I don't think any good goddamn reason. He is not bad at quarterback at all. Yeah, I get that he's not a starter, but he's not that bad. I'm gonna say Browns by 7. Colts, Texans. I don't believe in the Texans, man. There's nothing, their quarterback looked decent. I love Lovie Smith. I really did. He made the Bears really fucking good, and it really pissed me off for a long fucking time. But honestly, sincerely, like, what are they gonna fucking do? The Colts running back might be the best. Matt Ryan's pretty goddamn good. Their defense was solid at the very least, and may have only gotten better in the offseason. I'm gonna say Colts by 10. No, I don't think it's going to be incredibly close. Saints, Falcons, Saints. Again, I really don't think there's anything to talk about. Ravens, Jets, Ravens, nothing to talk about there. Jags, Commanders. Sneaky, interesting game. Okay, so this is going to be a long tangent that is completely not segued, and I'm sorry for that. People tell me that one of the worst games in the NFL ever, and they're not wrong, but a lot of them stand on it was the worst game and not just was one of the worst games, is you remember, I think that the Broncos traveled to New Orleans. I might be wrong about that. And I think that there was 3 passes completed or something like that. Now, Taysom Hill, we've seen enough of it. He's thrown 4 interceptions in one game before, and it's not like he's had very, very good games to kind of contrast that. You know how, every quarterback has that, just fuck, what the hell happened? 1 touchdown and 5 picks? What the fuck? And the touchdown was a rushing touchdown. It wasn't even a passing touchdown. No, it's nothing like that. It's that was a sad game. I don't remember the name of the quarterback for the Vikings. I want to say Josh Allen. It's going to sound wrong, because of the one in Buffalo. Just bear with me there. And it was Eli Manning. And these guys are quarterbacks and were sailing everything. What the fuck? That was just a bad game, man. Do I think the Jags and Commanders will be that bad? probably not that bad, and I'm probably going to go with the Jags, and only just because I think that Trevor Lawrence should do something very good very soon if we really want to still believe in him. But it reminds me, a matchup like this just reminds me of that kind of contest where it's like, fuck, I'm not going to actively tune into it. You can't watch every fucking game. Everybody that's like, oh, I tune in for I watch all the fucking plays. It's like, bullshit you fucking do. Seriously, you have fucking 40 hours worth of football to watch in a day. Even if you watch 2 games simultaneously at double speed, it's like, bullshit my asshole you fucking do. Okay, my boys, the Packers, traveling to Minnesota. Here's the fucking thing. Apparently Kirk Cousins owns a winning record against the Green Bay Packers. I didn't fucking know that. And they're in fucking Minnesota. Hilariously, don't do too well there. The Vikings don't do too well there against the Packers. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be like a toss-up, like a field goal at the end of the game. And you know how the Packers are on special teams at any point. Actually, at the end of the game, they're not that bad, typically. I know we just fucking... Just bear with me, all right? I think it's the Packers by 3. Late field goal seals it. Giants, Titans. Yeah, hey, listen, I don't want to disrespect the G-men out there, but holy crap, they were up a creek without a paddle, right? I mean, honestly, what are we talking about when we talk about the Giants, Saquon Barkley could have been incredible, but all the injuries and just relying on him to be the only workhorse to get anything done have immediately spat in the face of that. Tannehill's not amazing, I know, but just about every other thing about the Titans is, at least very good. So I'm gonna go with King Henry on this one. I think it's like 14. I don't think it's very close at all. But again, week 1, it's like all this stuff to be said. It's like, who the fuck knows? It might not be as much of a blowout as I fucking think it is. Okay, Raiders, Chargers. Flatly, I think that the Chargers did a hell of a lot more in the offseason. I think that they were a better team to begin with, even if they did lose the final game of the season to the Raiders last year to miss the playoffs. But so here we are. Raiders are visiting. LA is not known for its home field, but I think that they win. I think it's Chargers by 7. Okay, Chiefs, Cardinals. Okay, this is the thing. The Cardinals start off the season pretty fucking strong. The Chiefs are pretty good at traveling, but the Cardinals, I don't think they've ever really had like a home field advantage problem. I think this is as close to a pick'em as you can get. Can I say a fucking tie? No, I don't stand on the fence like that. I will say the Cardinals in a very close one. I don't think it's even decided by a field goal, maybe by a point or 2. So yeah, I guess I'll take the Cardinals. There's no disrespect to Patrick Mahomes. I know I got some fucking hate over that shit. He's a great quarterback. I'm not saying that he isn't. I'm just saying he had a really incredible year, and then a very good year, and then a pretty good year. And so, but now we're gonna see. We'll see. Bucks, Cowboys. I don't know. This is another one of those things where it's like, Dallas doesn't have like a great home field advantage, not in my mind, not in anybody's mind that I respect, right? But the Buccaneers are so just mollywopped that offensive line that it's like, you gotta believe, like, yeah, I mean, if I'm Mike McCarthy, right? I think I'm just throwing Micah Parsons right in the middle of that offensive, on the middle of the defensive front and just saying like, fucking go get him. Tear his ass up. All that to be said, I mean, how much do you trust Dak Prescott? I'm going to say Bucks by a field goal. And then finally, the Bronx travel to the Seahawks. Flatly, the Seahawks are not a very good team. They have a great receiving core, and that is practically it. So yeah, I'm going to say the Bronx by 10. I don't think it's going to be a competitive, close game. I think that they're going to let their foot off the pedal, and that's going to round it out. All right, listen, guys, I've always been a big believer in a great 15 minutes is a hell of a lot better than a good 20 minutes or a poor hour. So I'm going to leave you with that. You can always email me at GB-D2D @outlook.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at GB_D2D. You guys take care of yourselves. We'll check in. I cannot promise that it will be Tuesday next week. But I'm going to be trying to get 10 toes down on it. Y'all take care.